The reports in The Age are pretty unequivocal. A series of leaked reports saying that 90% of skilled migration visas could be a con, could be fraudulent. Kelvin Thomson is the Labor member for Wills. He's had a passion and done a lot of work in this area over the years, over a long time in the Parliament. Kelvin Thomson, good morning.
Good morning, Neil.
Is the system broken?
Absolutely. These documents reveal that Australia's national security is being compromised by wide-scale visa rorting and migration rackets operating with impunity. That visa fraud is widespread but is not being investigated because the department's investigation and enforcement capacity has collapsed. That as many as 9 in 10 skilled migrant visas might be fraudulent, and they give the case of a Somali people smuggling cell in Melbourne linked to a terrorist suspect. The investigation into that ceased due to lack of resources, and they say that meaningful investigation and prosecution activity of migration fraud in the Melbourne office has effectively ceased.
And none of this surprises you, does it?
Well, the scale of it is surprising. The 9 in 10 is, but the fact of it is not surprising. I've been aware of it for a number of years, and I've had both people within the department and indeed some of my own constituents. You'll be aware that I represent a highly multicultural electorate, and some of them, they're not willing to give their own names or those of others, but say to me that migration fraud is widespread.
How do the rorts work? How do you get in, say, as a cook? You're not a cook, or what? How does it work?
Well, that's right. You can make claims concerning your qualifications or your work experience which are false, but which the department has no capacity to check because it doesn't have the resources. A key problem is that since 2004, the migration program has skyrocketed, but the resources of the department haven't increased to keep pace with that. So the permanent program has gone up from 100,000 to 240,000, and we've got over 1 million people in Australia on temporary visas who have work rights. So it's simply beyond the department to check the validity of the claims that people are making about their qualifications and work experience.
So what's the biggest issue here? Is it the security issue? Is it costing jobs in this for people in this country? What is the biggest issue?
Look, they're all issues, and of course the security issue is very important, and there's a great deal of legitimate concern being expressed about terrorism right now, and that's a matter of concern to me. But I'm also concerned about the jobs issue. Victoria's got unemployment of 6.4%, the worst since 2002. And with young dentists, for example, the Dental Association said to the government and parliamentarians that the government is allowing overseas qualified dentists, assuming they are qualified, to flood the market with dentists when many of our own graduates are unable to practice.
Well, look, this mess has happened under your government, under the Labor government, but that's history. The new government inherits the problem. What does it need to do?
I think we need a parliamentary inquiry into this scandal. It's true that the problem dates back for quite some years, and I've been drawing attention to it for quite some years. True. But I think we need a parliamentary inquiry to get to the bottom of it and to get the real information out from the department rather than having it being leaked in the way that it is now. And we need to learn from this that it's better to put real effort into educating and training young Victorians and make sure that we've got labour market testing so that young Victorian graduates are offered the jobs before we look overseas.
Thank you for talking to us. Kelvin Thomson.